Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a closer look at Nvidia, and we got some interesting news about HBM, a memory that's used on AI chips, obviously the H100, H200, the Grace Blackwell, and we're also going to take a closer look at other reports impacting Nvidia's H100 pricing, the overall demand that we're seeing for the H100 right now, and some other interesting reports. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
So if you are watching this video when it first comes out, it's going to be Friday morning. So good morning. Hope everybody's ready for the weekend. While I am recording, the market's still not open, but we can see the stock pre-market is up roughly 2.3%. I tried to do a quick look and I haven't seen what's happening right now with Nvidia that's causing this nice price action. It could just be the overall market, but maybe later today we are going to take a closer look at maybe some of the other updates we ended on before the weekend starts. But yeah, we can see the overall market is pretty green pre-market. Let's hope it stays like that for the rest of the day, and maybe let's have a great weekend. But we can start off with the first article I have here, and it pretty much talks that the HBM craze continues, and SK Hynix reports sold out for this year. Next year's HBM capacity is nearly fully booked. So, like I mentioned, for those that are not familiar, HBM, and right now we're seeing HBM3, HBM3E, are the types of memory that is used on AI chips, being the MI300, being the H100, being the H200, or even the upcoming Blackwell 100 and all the Blackwell variants. So what this is telling me right now is, hey, look, there's only a limited amount of HBM suppliers. We have SK Hynix, we have Micron Technology, and we have Samsung. If we are seeing that this is still a supply constraint space, even up to 2025, then this tells me that the AI chip market is still going to be somewhat supply limited. Right now, we are supply limited due to things like advanced packaging from TSMC, but also memory, and we can see the capacity is kind of nearing its peak it's nearing its capacity for 2025 and has already been sold out for 2024. It tells me that this is going to be a supply constraint market for at least the next this year and maybe even next year. And that does bode well for a lot of AI chip companies, because if you are in a supply constraint market, that means demand is a lot higher. If demand is a lot higher, you're going to be able to continue to maintain maybe some strong margins. You'll also be able to kind of sell out and continue to grow as long as you continue to grow that supply chain on a quarterly basis. So obviously, it kind of sucks to see that right now revenue is limited due to this capacity, but we've heard from Nvidia in the past that they are increasing their supply chain improvements on a quarterly basis. And most likely that's not only dealing with advanced packaging, but it's also dealing with memory. So that, in my opinion, bodes well for Nvidia. Before we go any further, we are now on the road to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you all for the crazy support. So if you haven't and are enjoying the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. Finally, if you want to support the channel a little bit more, make sure to check out my special offer at fool.com/Jose. Now back to today's episode. Now the second thing we have here for Nvidia, there are talks that H100 GPU in the black market prices drop in China. So obviously, if you are an investor, you might try to take a closer look at, hey, how are prices doing in all types of markets? Because the H100 can't be shipped out to China, we are seeing them kind of going into the black market. Now, some people might see this as a bearish flag. They're saying, hey, look, if the H100 prices are dropping in the black market, it probably means that, hey, look, it's getting a lot easier to get the H100s in other matters, and it probably means that that the H100 is no longer supply constrained. Well, we have heard from Nvidia in the past that the H100, we've heard from a lot of companies that every quarter they were improving their supply chain issues with the H100. But now the H100 to some extent is old news, right? So what's the point of Nvidia really? They're going to continue obviously focus on H100, but they are already shipping the H200. So right now, maybe the demand for the H100 is not as high, as now the demand has shifted to Nvidia's H200. And these H200 eventually is going to shift to the Blackwell 100, the Blackwell 200, the Grace Blackwell 200. So I want to say if you're just looking at the H100 and the pricing trends of that, it's not the full picture because Nvidia continues to iterate at such a fast pace that that demand for that one product is just going to shift to another product. And some of you, I feel like I hear a lot that say, hey, look, hey, Jose, the H100 is going to be useless now. It's just paperweight. That's not true. A lot of these cloud server providers, they have a lot of old data centers. So what they're most likely going to do is they're going to either shift out those H100 servers and move them to where they have those old outdated servers. And there's a lot and a lot and a lot of outdated servers. So there's no, it's not like these companies are losing out by moving to the H200, even if they already have plenty of H100s. They're just going to continue to update their remaining outdated data center solutions that they have right now. So pretty interesting thoughts there on the overall H100 black market. Now, one thing that I found pretty interesting is there are reports that TSMC is beginning production of Tesla's next generation Dojo chip. So the Dojo is Tesla's strength to kind of AI training. They're creating kind of like their Dojo supercomputers. I'm pretty excited to see this AI market continue to evolve. But I mean, at the end of the day, we do know that Elon has mentioned, hey, if they could get as many H100, H200s, or whatever NVIDIA solution has, they really wouldn't need the Dojo platform. So it just showcases how much of a market and the AI space is growing. So it gets me pretty excited. And like I am a Tesla shareholder, and I definitely want to see them continue to evolve that Dojo platform. Now moving into some recent NVIDIA blogs on May 2nd. I can't believe we are on May already. NVIDIA announced that some of their microservices, which are some of their software solutions, are being integrated into AWS. These are their NVIDIA NIMs, which they kind of announced in their recent GTC events. So now companies are going to be able to find them using AWS solutions. Obviously, here we continue to see a nice boost of NVIDIA software products and little things like this, right? This overall news is not a big impact, in my opinion, for NVIDIA stock, but little news of, hey, more and more software solutions are entering all types of cloud server providers. You're going to continue to see that build up that revenue of software and obviously increase margins. Now, there are also reports that NVIDIA is advertising premium AI PC, and it's kind of really making fun of the AI PC market right now. So obviously right now there's this huge craze of AI PC. We see AMD and Intel talk about their NPU. But NVIDIA says that, hey, look, yeah, that's cute and all, but if you really want to have an AI PC, you're going to need one with a graphics card. So while the world is moving into this AI PC market and everybody's trying to buy these AI PCs, NVIDIA just says, hey, look, if you just buy a GPU, your PC is an AI PC. Obviously, there might be some benefits of NPU, right? Like it might be lower power usage compared to maybe a graphics card, but it has nowhere near the performance that a GPU solution will give you. Now, moving on to the Blackwell, this one's pretty interesting. And as you guys have been watching, you guys know that for me, the Grace Blackwell 200, which is NVIDIA's GPU and CPU, are probably my most bullish product for NVIDIA. And now analysts are really catching on to this a lot more. We can see that NVIDIA's Blackwell DGX GB200 AI servers to enter mass production by the second half of 2024. And analysts are projecting some crazy revenues. They are mentioning that it's disclosed that a DGX NVL72 cabinet, I'll probably put a picture here of it, is reportedly to be at around $3 million. And given that NVIDIA manages to sell roughly 10,000 units, this company can expect to clock in roughly $30 billion in just that one product, right? The Grace Blackwell has so many different variants for so many different solutions that I mentioned. This is going to be the crazy product that's going to take NVIDIA to a whole new levels in forms of revenue. Now, the final thing I want to end this episode with is there's some video of an interview with Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. And Altman says that he doesn't care how much money he burns. He and his company at OpenAI, the real goal is to build AGI, which is kind of the true AI world where AI kind of thinks within itself. Some crazy Terminator stuff there, but he says he doesn't care if he'll burn $5 billion a year, $50 billion a year, because at the end of the day, the value that this kind of product and AGI and solutions will bring to the world is way more than the kind of money that they're burning. So maybe not great news for Microsoft, because Microsoft is probably the one giving the wallet and the allowance to OpenAI. But obviously, it bodes well that, hey, look, the market, this is what they're going for. And right now, ChatGPT 4 and all the AI solutions that we have right now are the dumbest they will ever be. This is something Altman has said. And so that bodes well, right? So that means the training of the next generation is going to be even much harder. The training is going to need more computational power. So you're going to need more advancements in the AI chip as the AI market continues to evolve, right? From here on out, the AI is still in baby steps. And so many of you might say, hey, look, Jose, AI it's nothing. That's on you. Feel free to think AI is not going to change the world. It might not do it in the next 3 months. It might not do it in the next 6 months. But within the next 10 years, this evolution of AI, in my opinion, is going to completely change the world. And we're going to have chips from Nvidia really dominate this space. Nvidia is not stopping. It's not stopping anywhere. So I personally believe that Nvidia is going to have a really great year this year. Obviously, with pricing, the stock might seem a bit over expensive, but if we just take a closer look at just price to earnings ratio and forward ratios, Nvidia's forward 1 year ratio is sitting below 30, 28.37. That's the end of next fiscal year. So about 2 years from now, I personally think that's cheap if you do believe the AI market is real. I do. I'm pretty sure some people don't. And if you don't, obviously this is sitting at some expensive levels, because these are just based on analyst results and analyst expectations. And those might not necessarily be right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's update. Take care. Have a good day and see you next time.